Good morning friend, have you seen this video? If not, check it out, one of the best WoW video ever. Most WoW streamers reacted to it. Have a nice day.
So you're asking me to react to a Zaryu reaction? Bro, I'm basically reacting to myself. Like, this guy looks like me. But I guess I can react to the actual video. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, fair enough. Question mark. The name of this is just question mark, and it premiered August 15, 2021. I'm not gonna pause this video a single time. What the hell is this? Is this safe to watch? There must be. Okay, relax, bro. What is this? Did you just fart? Did you just fart?
Yeah.
What was that sound? Oh my god, I thought my girlfriend farted. It was the chair. Alright, never mind.
I'm going to
Never
start
mind,
this
sorry.
off by saying whatever the hell you do not look in the comment section below. Though I don't usually get many, if any, comments on my predictions,
Marshall.
the ones that are there will no doubt spoil what is to come. So go into full screen mode and let me show you this, because I promise you, it's going to blow your mind.
Should I go full
believe I've
screen?
made a WoW discovery that literally no one else has ever found. No matter how much I try to look it up, there's never any results.
The deep web,
no
bro.
DuckDuck searches, no YouTube videos, nothing. And that's pretty damn surprising, considering this is a game from 2004 that we're talking about here. This is the vanilla WoW world map. As you can see, there's only two continents, Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. Let me ask you a question. Out of all the zones in these two continents, which one is the most forgettable? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it.
I don't know, bro. Eastern Kingdoms? I don't know. For me, it's same, bro.
Alright, time's up. I imagine that the vast majority of people probably answered with Desolus, Silithus, Alterac Mountains, Deadwind Pass, you know, the usual suspects. But there's one zone in Vanilla WoW that literally everyone knows about, but is almost universally forgotten. And that zone is Stone Talon Mountains. Stone Talon Mountains is a contested zone that shares a border with the Barrens and Desolus. The fact that it's a contested zone is quite interesting in of itself, as despite there being many low-level Horde quests available here, for Alliance players, there's almost nothing at all.
Yeah,
in fact,
it's weird.
I'd be willing to bet that if you're an Alliance main like me, you've probably never even been here before. The zone itself has an extremely
You just die if you
unusual
go there as
design,
Alliance,
and there
bro.
really
It's like
is
a million
nothing else
Horde, man.
like it in the game. It's essentially one giant valley that connects to three different open chasms that are completely different to one another. Due to the zone's odd layout and frustrating quests, even many Horde players tend to skip it entirely when leveling.
That's
But
not
I'm not
true,
here
bro.
to talk about the zone
Relax.
or even its quests. but
Horde
something
does
much,
quests here.
much weirder. We all know that WoW has
This
a
is
day-night
spider ones,
cycle
you
that
know,
is in
and,
sync with the server's time zone. If it's
goblins.
daytime in real life, then it will be daytime in game 2. If it's nighttime in real life, then it will be nighttime in game 2. A zone's atmosphere can change significantly depending on whether it's day or night, but this is true especially for Stone Talon Mountains. During the day, Stone Talon Mountains just looks and feels like a pretty typical looking place. A bit of trees here, a bit of grass there, but at night, this zone, and the way it feels to be in it, almost completely changes.
No way.
From the hours of
What
midnight
happens, I
to
wonder?
5 AM, music no longer plays in the zone. Instead, all you can hear is this strange wind ambience that sounds really freaky.
Dude, that is pretty creepy, bro.
What's weirder is that at night, the entire zone has this creepy red tint to it for seemingly no reason, and there's a ton of fog that limits how far you can see. Not sure if you can really notice it here, but the difference when it's daytime is really...
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see
night and
there's
day.
fog.
Now obviously when I first discovered this, I was confused just as much as you probably are. Why is it like this? No other zone has effects like these at night. It just seems... weird. And again, no matter how much I looked into it, No one had
Why
an
were
answer.
you playing WoW with
But
5 in the
that's not
morning
even why
and
I'm
Stone
making
Talon
this,
though? That's the
because,
weirdest
yeah, it's weird,
thing.
but it could just be some sort of attempt at atmospheric immersion. No, I'm making this because of a strange phenomenon that kept happening to my character here. If you know me, then you'll know that I'm pretty much nocturnal.
Phenomenon, bro. This guy watches
seriously
so much
nocturnal.
Ancient Aliens,
I'm
I
always
bet,
up at
bro.
night and in the early hours of the morning because that's just how I like it. As a result, whenever I play WoW, it's always in the dark. That's how I noticed how weird Stone Talon Mountains was in the first place. In classic WoW, I had an orc warrior called Warzerk that I would occasionally level up to see what the Horde side of the game was like. Just a way to relax and see what I would have otherwise missed out on my Alliance main. Stone Talon Mountains was one of the zones I ended up leveling in. I remember being taken aback at what a weird, almost psychedelic dreamscape the zone felt like. It reminded me of somewhere where a nightmare would take place, but again, I didn't think anything of it until this happened. This is a screenshot I took at 2:14 AM on the 20th of October 2020. I'm in the Windshear Crag part of the zone, and as you can see, my character is dead.
Shit,
You're
he died.
probably thinking that a mob must have got me or something, but no. The reason I took this screenshot is because my character just died, instantly, for no reason whatsoever. I was just running around doing some quest.
Dude, this happened to me in hardcore, man. Like, I was playing on my level 60 warrior. I went to take a piss. And I came back and I was dead. Like, how did that happen? Like, still to this day, no one's... Okay, whatever.
When he just dropped dead. At first I thought that maybe a high-level rogue had got me, then vanished or something, but I didn't see any. And according
Bro,
to
this
my
could be
combat
easily
log, nothing
faked.
happened.
Like, what is
He
this?
just died. I kept this screenshot because I thought I would put it in a
Show the
future
combat
production
log,
of
bro. Show the
mine, as
proof.
At the time, there was a lot of uproar about how badly Blizzard maintained classic WoW, with there being a ton of bots and gold sellers flying around. I figured it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for there to be bugs like this too, as, after all, this is Blizzard we're talking about here. Either way, I rezzed up and carried on with my questing before heading off for the night. 24 hours later, and I am, once again, questing in the Windshear Crag. Everything was going smoothly, until once again, bam. It happened again.
No
Instant
way.
death, no combat log,
214.
just dead. I had never experienced anything quite like this.
But
I
he
mean,
just did a day
yeah,
ago.
WoW could be buggy, but it's never been this bad. I looked back at the screenshot I took the night before and noticed something really unusual. The time of death on both shots was exactly the same, 2:14 AM. That was just way too much of a coincidence to ignore. I tried to make a post on r/classic WoW to ask if anyone knew what kept happening.
Yeah, but there's
to
no
my
way no
character,
one else has
but
had this happen to
it got
them, right?
removed, and then I was banned for no reason. So, yeah, pretty standard.
That's
I
Reddit
decided
for
that
you.
this was way too much of a coincidence to ignore. So, I conjured a plan. The next night, at 2:14 AM, I would have my recorder on, just in case my character died again, so that I would have proof.
It's like trying
of
to
this
film a
weird
ghost,
bug in
man.
action. The following is what I captured. Nothing. I waited around for a few minutes longer, but it just wasn't happening. I figured that it really must have been just a weird coincidence. Feeling disappointed, I turned off my recorder and carried on questing. But then, boom. It happened again. This time at 2:47 AM. 3 deaths in a row on 3 different
This is so
days.
good, bro.
But why was this one at a different time than the others? The only difference I noticed between the last shot and the first two is that on the last one, I was at the Charred Vale part of the zone, whereas with the first two, I was in the Windshear Crag. So, I had another idea. What if I went to the Windshear Crag at 2:14 AM and had my recorder on then instead? Maybe there, it would
Imagine
happen
if you
again.
were playing hardcore and this
So,
happened.
once again, I set my
Could you get it
character
appealed, guys?
and
Could you
waited.
appeal this? Probably, right? Dude, he took damage.
Holy
Hold on, he took damage, bro. I need to freeze this. 809. I guess how much health he has.
Holy shit. I now had video evidence of this so-called bug in action. But honestly, at this point, I was starting to think there has to be something more to this. Out of curiosity, I wondered that if I went to the Charred Vale at 2:47 again, if it would happen there too. Sure enough, it did.
So it's a specific times.
2:14 AM in the Windshear Crag and 2:47 AM in the Charred Vale. I didn't know what it was, but for some reason, at those times, my character would always just drop dead. It was as if there was an invisible GM playing some sort of practical joke or something like that. But we're not done yet. At the very top of the zone lies the third chasm, the Stone Talon Peak. A very leafy and soothing place compared to the other two. I wondered if the weird deaths occurred there too. Sure enough, they did. 2:28 AM. I tested this again the next day, and it happened yet again.
What the hell,
2:14 AM in the Windshear Crag, 2:47 AM in the Charred Vale, 2:28 in the Stone Talon Peak. Every night, at those times, my character would die without failure or explanation. It would never happen in the valley part of the zone, only in the chasms at those exact times. This wasn't a coincidence at this point. I tried to see if anyone else was in the zone at the same time as me, but literally no one ever was.
No one
Not
plays,
too surprising, as this character is on Dragonfang, which is, yeah, a very dead server to say the least. None of my friends still played, so I couldn't exactly ask them to get a subscription just to test this. And whenever I would ask other people to come to Stone Talon Mountain...
Hey, wanna come to Stone Mountain so I can watch you die? Like how do you whisper this to somebody, bro? I would report you. Like, okay, dude.
So that I could watch them drop dead, they were surprisingly
Sounds like a good time.
I decided
Fuck
to do
off.
some hardcore research to see if anyone else had noticed this, scrubbing almost the entire internet for even a nugget of information. But alas, nothing. Well, nothing, except that 2 years ago, back when Classic WoW launched, an old Blizzard developer who had long since left the company, Mike Crond, did a Q&A on the r/WoW subreddit, whereby he answered people's questions about what it was like developing the vanilla game. In his opening remarks, he mentioned that he was behind zones such as Desolus, Feralas, Ashenvale, and Stone Talon Mountains.
Desolus.
Despite the Q&A being 2 years ago
think there's
now,
a mystery
I
in
noticed that
Desolus,
Mike
guys.
was very
Maradon.
active on Reddit, albeit almost always posting about non-WoW related stuff. Now, I'm not usually one to pry, but man, if anyone knew what was going on here, it would be this guy. And I'm in way too deep to quit now. I just had to ask. So I did. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea how to open a conversation with a guy who I don't know, and who doesn't know me. I'm not a journalist, I'm a WoW player. By nature, I'm very antisocial and tend not to talk to people unless they talk to me. But this guy wasn't just gonna talk to me by himself, so I decided to try to play it cool. Didn't want to come off as too pushy or anything like that. So I said, "Hey there, is it true you worked on Vanilla WoW back in the day?" Honestly, I didn't expect to get an answer, but shockingly enough, he responded almost instantly. Yup. Well,
Yup.
it's better than nothing, I guess.
2 minutes.
The ice was
6
broken.
in the morning.
I just had a question about one of the zones. Nothing serious.
Oh, he's
just
from
some trivia
NA, so
that
it's
I
different
wondered if you
hours.
could answer.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, shoot. Talkative guy. I've been on
Definitely
Classic
American.
WoW recently and leveling up in Stone Talon Mountains. I've noticed that for some reason, my character dies at set times in the early hours of the morning for seemingly no reason. I know it sounds bonkers, but do you have any idea why that is? It's been driving me crazy for days now. After I asked this, the guy just went completely silent. I'll be honest, I was pretty pissed off. If anyone would know why, it would be this guy, and he just bailed on me for no reason.
He's probably very
I
happy
figured
that
all
someone
hope
figured
was lost
something
and that
out,
I'd never
you
know what was behind this.
You wouldn't want to spoil it,
With my
right?
limited audience,
You're like,
there was no way
finally
I could
they
make a big
found
enough
it.
deal out of it to try to get people to figure it out. So, case closed, I guess.
Doveski, thank you for the raid. What's up? Hello guys,
Also,
we're watching
thought,
this video called
I
question mark.
am not joking with you. 10 months later, I get another message from Mike. The message literally just said, "The SoCal lady killer." I'm like,
Ooh.
what?
It's like
No
a serial
response.
killer, right?
Guy just goes completely quiet again. The SoCal lady killer? What the heck was that? I thought that perhaps he had meant to message someone else and this was sent to
Some
me by
true
accident.
crime shit, bro.
Decided to look into it and this is what came up. The SoCal lady killer is the nickname given to an unidentified serial killer who is believed to be behind the murder of 3 women in Southern California throughout the years of 1995 and 1996. Though there is no direct evidence that links the 3 murders together, the modus operandi of the killer was seemingly identical in all of the cases, with the victims' bodies being mutilated in an almost identical fashion.
That's kind of
each
fucked
time.
up, bro. Like,
The 3
I don't
women,
know.
all of which were prostitutes,
Why would you-
were believed to be lured to a secluded area by the killer, whereby they were then murdered. Again, I had no idea what this had to do with what I asked, until I read this part. The first victim was 28-year-old Whitney Fangson. On the 2nd of August 1995, her body was found on the outskirts of the Wind Shear Lumber Mill. Police reports state that she was officially declared dead at 2:14 a.m.
Shit, bro.
4 months later, on the 5th of December 1995, 25-year-old Sophie Riven was found in an almost identical state at a hotel room in the nearby village of Los Chared. Police reports state that she was declared dead at 2:47 a.m. The third and final victim was 32-year-old Amy Rassan, who 2 months later, on the 17th of February 1996, was found dead by climbers at the base of Sokol Peak. Police reports state that she was declared dead at 2:28.
Bro, like these, so like basically this zone was named because of this. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is, right? There's no way, like coincidentally, all 3 parts in the zone were called like Peak, Lumber Mill, right? Like this guy based the zone of these murders.
a.m.
Yeah.
Wind Shear Lumber Mill was the basis for Wind Shear Crag. Los
I can
Chared
link this in
was
chat.
the basis for the Charred Vale. Sokol Peak was the basis for Stone Talon Peak. In addition, the timing of the victims' deaths correlate exactly with the timing of my characters. The mystery had been
My
solved.
raid is starting like
The
very soon,
seemingly
by the way.
random deaths are an Easter egg
It's almost over
referencing the
now.
SoCal lady killer. But that's a pretty weird Easter egg, don't you think? I went to ask Mike what on earth made him want to add that in the game.
Wait, is
But
this
again,
fake?
I
I
got
guess
no
it's fake.
response. But this time, it was different. You see, in the
What if it's
past
a
when I
f-
was
what if
blank,
this is all
Mike
fake,
was
actually,
still
and I'm getting
actively
trolled,
using
bro?
Reddit obsessively on a daily basis. But ever since that last message, he had stopped completely. Not many people know this, but the state of California actually has an online public database of all its residents that states basic information about them, such as their criminal record, driving viability, and yes, whether they are dead or alive. Well, you're never gonna believe what I found. Michael John Crond, 54, death by suicide, on the 13th of August 2021, the exact same day that he last messaged me. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Crond, World of Warcraft developer from 2004 to 2006, was the SoCal lady killer. Stone Talon
What?
Mountains, a zone which he designed, is nothing more than a direct reference to the crimes he committed 10 years prior to joining Blizzard. It is an open mockery of his victims, hiding the truth in plain sight while taking great pleasure in how no one else can see it.
There's
Typical
no way,
serial
bro.
killer
There's
behavior.
no way. There's no fucking way.
But if you aren't convinced yet, then let me show you this. Every single chasm has a rare mob that is a direct reference to one of the victims. Whitney Fangson died outside of the Windshear lumber mill. Meanwhile, in the Windshear Crag, there's an NPC called Taskmaster Whipfang.
Dude, what
Sophie
the fuck,
Riven
man?
died in Lost Charred. Meanwhile, in the Charred Vale, there's an NPC called Sister Riven. Amy Rasan died on the base of Sokol Peak. Meanwhile, in the Stone Talon Peak, there's an NPC called Sentinel Amma Rasan. The cherry on top.
And they're all
In
female.
the only safe place
kind of,
in the entire zone,
I think.
the Sunrock Retreat, is an NPC called Krond. Krond, the Butcher. So the question you're probably asking yourself is, why? Why would he commit suicide? Well, the answer becomes crystal clear if we go back to the SoCal Ladykiller's wiki page. It reads, after being a cold case for over 25 years, on the 2nd of August 2021, LAPD Police Chief Ed Jens announced that the SoCal Ladykiller case had been reopened.
This is such a big coincidence though that he started looking into it.
May help finally bring the victims
10
some
days
justice.
after it reopened,
Mike Krond knew that he was about to be found out. Thus, he ended his own life as to escape justice. But folks, do you want to know the worst part about all of this? The worst part is, I just made all that up. That's right, Mike Krond is not a serial killer. In fact, Mike Krond isn't even real. Hell,
Bro, what
his
the fuck,
picture
man?
isn't even real. It was generated by an AI. There's no such thing as the SoCal Ladykiller, and my character didn't even die randomly in the Stone Talon Mountains. I just got a friend of mine to use the neutral auction house to trade me a dark rune. Hell, even the character isn't even the same. So, the question you must be asking is, why? Why did I make up this entire story? Well, you see, it's simple. If I can come up with an interesting and somewhat believable story that grips people enough to keep them listening for 20 minutes, about the pissing Stone Talon Mountains no less, then Blizzard has no excuse to not write a good story of their own, especially with their ridiculously overpaid writing team at their disposal. Dear WoW lore team, get it together, you absolute amateurs.
Hey, good video, bro. Nice. I'll link this in chat. Dude, he had me there, man. He had me. Hey, this was the perfect video to watch. Like, I stalled for 25 minutes, and now my raid is about to start, like, right now. Yeah. That was a good story, regardless, you know, that it turned out to be fake. I mean, it's good that it turned out to be fake, bro. Joker, this is the social lady killer.
Neil and Mike.
Bro, what are you talking about, man? Do I look like a serial killer, bro? The only thing I've killed a lot is mobs in Maradona, right?
Mine's
Relax.
first.